So I'm currently here on my next overlanding adventure in a little place in Kentucky called Land Between the Lakes, which is not so little. It is a giant national forest that kind of sits on the west side of Kentucky, just above Tennessee, and it houses some of the most unique areas in Kentucky. Right now we are in an off-road park called Turkey Bay, and we were going after that next Jeep badge of honor for our Jeeps. But tomorrow we're going to be packing up camp and we're going to be heading up north in Land Between the Lakes and exploring and overlanding the entire Land Between the Lakes. If you guys want to see that video, then click this link right here and I'll post the video to our overlanding adventure to Land Between the Lakes. But in this video, I want to talk about some new gear that some sponsors sent to me because I love doing this on our overlanding trips. I love testing out new gear just to share with you guys. Is it going to be something that would be great for your rig, or is it something that you could probably do without? And today we are talking about hot water showers. Now, if you've been a fan of the channel for any time, you know that I'm a big fan of Camplux. I've been using their hot water showers for over a year and a half now, and I absolutely love it. The unit that I was using kind of hangs on the side of the Jeep, goes into a privacy tent, and draws water from a 5-gallon tank. When Camplux told me that they had a brand new unit that was all kind of self-contained in a nice little package, I said, I want to test this out so bad. So they sent me their brand new Nano 3 Ultra. And we're going to pop open the box and we're going to look at the pluses and minuses of the Nano 3 and my previous Camplux. Let's dive into it. Open up the box here. Our first smaller box is going to be all of our hoses and our hardware. So blue lines are going to be for the water in and the red lines are going to be for the water out. When we open up the blue line, one of the main differences in the Nano 3 is it has a built-in pump already included on the blue line. So this will sit down into your water source, and then this will get routed to your unit with a quick disconnect, and then this will draw power to the pump. Now here we have our 12-volt connector here that will plug into our cigarette lighter, and then that will plug into the unit. The unit does have a battery inside of the unit, so this will actually charge it, and it's a pass-through, so you can use it while it's charging. And like I said, our red hose here is going to be our water out. Just like our blue line, we have a quick disconnect here, and then this is going to connect to our shower head. And this little package is going to be our shower head. Now, this is a lot better quality than our last little Camplux shower head. This is nice. It's got a couple of different speeds, 3 different speeds here on the side of it. And then here is going to be our main water unit. Once we open up the plastic here, we have a little bit of directions on how to use and operate it, but I encourage you to read it. I've already read through a bit of it earlier. I'm excited to get it up and working. So if we're looking at the unit right now, nothing's plugged in, but I just wanted to look at the fit and the finish of this product. This is actually a really well-made product. Back here on the back, you've got your gas line. So our previous unit had a gas line that was permanently attached. This one disconnects the gas line. That's not too shabby. Here you've got your water inlet here in blue, your water out in red, so you can't mess those up because they're color coded. You get your on off here. This is where you set your temperature, and then they've got 2 dials here. So this one right here will actually tell you what the water temperature is in your water source, and then this will tell you what your water temperature is as it's coming out of the tank. And then this is where you turn your pump on and off. So plugging this in, like I said, is super simple. Everything is color coded. We've got our blue hose here with our pump on the end and our quick disconnect. So we're just going to pop this off and we're just going to push this on until it clicks. I just heard it click. And then this is going to be the power source for our pump. And there's a little tab right above it that says pump, and then that's where we're going to plug that in. So now our water inlet in our pump is now sourced. For our hot water, it's just one outlet, red here. Push it on until it clicks and it's good to go. Now for your gas line on the rear, it actually comes with this regulator that plugs straight into here, and then this actually is set up so that it takes the little tiny green propane tanks. However, I added this hose that's actually going to attach and go to my 5-pound propane tank so that we can get more propane out of the big tank and I don't have to carry those little green ones around. So to connect this, we just push it onto our gas line, and then we can turn this to tighten it on. Now that is good and tight. So now that we have everything wired up, one of the things you may be asking is, where do I get my water source from? Technically, you could pull it straight from the river if you'd like, or the lake if your hose was long enough. I typically carry a 5-gallon jerry can with me. This water is typically only used for showering, washing hands, and things like that. So I literally just pop this top off and drop the hose with the pump right down inside. Now, as I mentioned before, I get my gas line from a 5-pound propane tank named Marshmallow on the back of my Jeep. And so with the gas line, it's just a simple hose that plugs straight into here, and I can screw it right on to my 5-pound propane and have it ready. Now to get power to this, we're going to go ahead and take our 12 volt and we're going to plug it in right here in our 12 volt DC in, and we're going to run that over to our power bank, and we should be ready to go. And so here we can pull 12 volt from wherever we want. There we go. Now we're gaining power right there, and our shower should be ready to roll. Let's test it out. So first what we're going to do is just turn our power on. See, we've got it says our water temperature in here is 88 degrees in this water. Holy cow. We're going to set our temperature that we want, 106, and then we're going to turn our pump on right here. You can hear the pump. It's lighting. And it's now hot. Oh yeah, that's really hot. 92, so now I just reached 106 degrees. Wow, that was so easy and so fast. And as soon as I turn this off, the pilot light goes off so it doesn't affect anything. You can see the temperature starting to drop. The pump is still running. We can turn the pump off if we want. And then now we're conserving power and we're conserving heat. Now this thing does have kind of a tilt mechanism too, so if it tilts more than 30 degrees, it will automatically cut all flames, all power, everything going into this, it will cut it. So there's several benefits to using the Nano 3 versus one of their older models. One, how compact it is. Everything is right here in one tiny little unit, so it packs away very easily. Two, my old unit that I had an external pump which I was always having to kind of find the switch and turn it on and off. That old unit took 2 D-cell batteries, and those batteries would always go bad. And when I needed a shower, I didn't have extra batteries and I had no shower. This one has an internal power source in here that pulls directly from our power bank. So that's super, super cool. I like how the gas hose is now detachable, so we can now pack this thing away really, really easy. And I like that the digital gauge on the front, it tells you what your incoming temperature is, what your outgoing temperature is, and it's that simple. You hit one pump button and you're working. It's going. You're getting hot water. So I'm really, really impressed with this, and I think I'm going to put it to use right now. So since I'm in a public park, I'm going to go ahead and open up my privacy tent right here, and that's where we can shower inside there. And so with my privacy tent in here, I can literally just come in here, and I've got my shower head now added there. I can zip myself in and take a shower right here, and nobody would even know. Oh man, that felt absolutely amazing. Can you imagine being overlanding, off-roading, exploring all day in 104-degree weather? You're hot, you're sweaty, you make it into camp, and all you want to do is take a shower? Wow, that felt so good. I was so sticky and icky and all the things, and that has just made my night so much more enjoyable. You guys, if you're interested in the Camplux Nano 3, click the link down in the description. I'll make sure that I'll put a link to this particular unit in the description so that you guys can have an opportunity to check it out for yourself. I highly, highly recommend it. This is definitely a do for your rig. It's not a necessity, it's a luxury. You guys like and subscribe to Road Rash Off-Road, because we're always overlanding and exploring somewhere, and I would love to take you guys along with me. And we're also reviewing gear just like the Camplux on what works and what doesn't work for us when we're on the road. You guys, love you. Peace.